SGA is so savage, making Kevin Durant watch his old team raise a banner opening night, booed every possession with his new team, but then it got worse. End of regulation, KD gets sent to the free throw line with a chance to put the Rockets up 3. Breathing room to close out the game, and KD misses a free throw. Clutch scored 90% from the line, goes 1 for 2. So, of course, SGA forces overtime, but at the end of OT, KD tries to call a timeout when Houston has none. A clear technical foul for OKC to win the game, but no! OKC goes crazy, as they should. Should've won the game! But then, SGA finally gets KD to bite on a pump fake, draws a foul, that's a wrap. Durant was almost trying to lose this game, and he finally succeeded. But hold up, if the Rockets lost to OKC because of Kevin Durant, that's a good thing. He is now on a team where KD doesn't have to be the best or even second best player every night. This man has hooked his near 40-year-old self up to an elite young squad. Amin Thompson clearly gone up a level. Alperen Şengün scored 39 points, 11 boards, 7 dimes after leading Turkey to silver in Eurobasket. Oh, is that Euro game going to translate over this year? Yes. Not saying this is on the level of Golden State, but think of all the teams that Durant has been on since leaving Steph and the Dubs. Has he finally gotten it right? First, the Brooklyn Nets, full of toxic drama, KD the star. Then the Suns, who gutted the team to get him. So by the time KD gets to Phoenix, they've dismantled a championship squad. But Houston? They almost beat the defending champs with KD a shell of himself. Stable organization with a good coach in front office. And if KD is actually able to win as a Rocket, it changes everything. I'm talking Dirk beating LeBron in 2011. Jokic in 2023. Legacy-defining championships. But for KD, no one even respects his 2 chips outside of Golden State. If he is able to do this, win in Houston at age 37, it would put him top 10 all time. So can they actually do it? But you guys have been loving MyFitFoods, which I love, because MyFitFoods is how I stay in shape all year long while not feeling like I'm restricted in my diet or bored, because they have new meals that they mix in every single month. Trust me, I have tried like 100 of these meal prep places. MyFitFoods is by far the best I have ever tried. And you can walk into any of their stores in Houston, Portland, or Denver, and be sure to use my code AMH25 for 25% off your order at MyFitFoods. It helps out the channel, lets them know that you came from me. Again, that is code AMH25. Well, the news of KD taking this pay cut changes everything, because instead of his max of 2 years for 120 million, he took just 90 million bucks. And yes, just 90 million. I mean, look, still highest paid player of all time, but this is rare. Okay, LeBron talks about wanting to win all the time, but when the time came, he took 3 million less. And this is a guy who's a billionaire. KD took 30 million less. That is commitment, because he knows what's at stake here, okay? All the haters, all the people who question his rings in Golden State go away. So he gives back 15 million per year. Do you know what kind of player that Houston can get for that? This is a look at guys who make 15 mil per year. A Daniel Gafford, Danny Avila, Austin Reeves, Herb Jones, all guys who would definitely contribute to a chip. And for as good as the Rockets looked, they need it. Because if there's one thing the Rockets learned, it's Fred VanVleet's injury is a big deal. They need a point guard. Oh, maybe it's Reed Shepherd. Not yet. Coach Ime Udoka sat this kid basically all last year. Then right before game 1, Shepherd goes off preseason, 29 points against the Hawks starters. Udoka's like, yeah, that's nice, you're coming off the bench. Why? Because he is not a true point guard and bad on defense. So what is the point of any of this, right? Like, getting Kevin Durant for cheap was supposed to be a cheat code for all their issues. Last year, the Rockets were one of the worst shooting teams in the NBA. They ranked in the 20s in three-point makes, attempts, and percentage. And that really hurt in the playoffs. Rockets went 5 for 17, eliminated by Golden State. And in the half court, Houston scored just 78 points per 100 possessions in half court offense. And for context, Charlotte was dead last in the NBA. They scored 90 points per 100. So they were much worse than the worst team in the NBA. But KD is supposed to fix all this, not without a point guard. Okay, it looked decent at times against OKC, but we've never had a real champion who doesn't have a point guard. So if they want to win it all, Houston needs to make a trade. Now the good news is they have a lot of ammo left in a deal because for some reason the Suns were just desperate to give KD away. Okay, people thought, oh, for an all-time player, they're going to need to trade at least one of their elite young guys. But all they had to trade was Jalen Green, the number 10 pick, Dylan Brooks, and seconds. They left all this other stuff on the table, including control of the Suns' own draft picks in 27 and 29. So at one point, the Rockets had an eye on Giannis, but that's all over, okay? It's time to go all in while the window is open. So who can they get? Well, target number 1 should be Derek White. He is the new Drew Holiday in Boston, but would the Celtics give him up? It might take a huge haul, but worth a try. White is a perfect fit, and if the Rockets are on the verge, White's the kind of guy who puts you over the top. So what about the Rockets get White and Jordan Walsh for salary for Dorian Finney-Smith, Reed Shepherd, Clint Capella, and that 2027 unprotected Suns first? One of the most valuable picks in the NBA. Boston would be idiots to pass this up. Oh, but why would the Rockets do it? Because they gamble that that pick doesn't go number 1 or number 2 in this new lottery system. But if it goes below that, I mean, they don't have room for some hotshot young rookie. They would trade him anyway. So why not deal it now for a guy like White who puts the pieces together and maximizes KD? Plus, Reed Shepherd may be good, but not yet. Got hunted on defense all night long. But next on the list is Andrew Nembhard of the Pacers, a legit starting point guard on a championship team on both ends of the court. Coach Ime Udoka would love Nembhard's two-way skill, but it would take a lot to get him because Indy loves Nembhard. So Houston comes strong. They get Nembhard for Reed Shepherd, Tari Eason, Jeff Green, and that Brooklyn Nets swap. Once again, a godfather offer from the Rockets that Indy cannot say no to. But they do it because Reed's got to be in the deal because Pacers need a point guard. And reports say that they are far apart on a new deal for Tari Eason. And that net swap could be high in the lottery. Now, some other potential options I've heard thrown out there for point guard are Drew Holiday, CJ McCollum, Peyton Pritchard. But I think Derek White and Andrew Nembhard are the only real guys to go all in for. The problem with Drew is he's too old, and even if they got one good season off him, his huge contract would nuke the final 2 years. CJ McCollum is terrible on defense, and they've got offense covered. Pritchard is who you hope Reed Shepherd could turn into in a few years, but they've already got Shepherd, and it's not good enough. So can this KD thing work? Yes. We just saw that game 1. Took the defending champs to the brink with a shell of KD. So this is the perfect team to be on because if KD misses games with injury late in his 30s, the roster can pick up the slack. But that pay cut he took can help them put this over the top with one more trade. KD did it because he knows if this works, it changes everything. But another guy with some pressure before this season is LaMelo Ball. The entire NBA is turning on him. Some preseason rankings have LaMelo ranked worse than role players right now. But is that fair? Well, I did a full breakdown of LaMelo's game to see if the haters are right or wrong before his year 6 in Charlotte.